All right, so I'm going to do something. So in case the very few subscribers I have on my channel sees this and they're wondering what the heck, well, let me explain it real quick. I'm going to make a series of videos that will just come out throughout time so I can put in a playlist that will mostly be just for me, but if any of you guys get something out of it, then great. But purpose of these videos is for myself, particularly because I might want to dip my toe in coaching or training other people. So there's lots of different things of advice from the Mind Pump show. I listen to this like almost every day. I highly recommend that show, that podcast. But I just want to film, and I don't care. This is a guerrilla style filming. I'm just filming a screen, one phone to another. I don't care. But anyway, yeah, I thought this piece of advice was really awesome. So I'm going to film it. What is happening here? So she's telling her story. She's training somebody, having a hard time keeping her person that she's training, I think it's like one of her friends, encouraged and just doing everything right. So she's having a hard time with that. And what would be these guys' advice for that? So I thought it was pretty solid. I'm going to continue to make a series of these videos. I don't want to have to explain myself every single time, but maybe I'll make it shorter and shorter each time I explain it. But I just thought it was solid advice. And yeah, this is really important for me, especially to know if I do break out into training other people besides my wife, which is what I'm doing right now. So yeah, this is just really good.
Do you have the hard conversations with people about their goals and that they kind of have to take things into their own hands and like try? Do you have any tips for making smaller goals? I appreciate and look forward to any advice.
I think you're doing good.
I think so too.
I think you're doing really good, and this is what makes coaching so rewarding and so challenging. Okay, your job as a coach is to be honest. It's to inspire and encourage, not push. Inspire and encourage, but it's also to be a source of endless grace when they make a mistake, because you are the person that they're concerned about. When they mess up, they probably feel bad about themselves, and then you're the coach and you say, look, it's fine. We all make a mistake. What used to help me a lot with this is remembering the areas of my life that I was stuck on a hamster wheel. We all have these. We all have areas where if somebody from the outside looked at them, they'd go, just do this thing or just don't do this thing. It's so silly. And we tend to hide that from people. But we all have those. Now, it is true that it is all your fault as a coach, but it's also true that you need to give yourself grace as well. This is the mystery of being a good coach, is you have to take the responsibility, but you can't allow yourself to be crushed by the responsibility. Now, why do you have to take all the responsibility? Because you have to care. If you don't care, you're not going to be effective. But you also have to accept that people are human and that it's going to be a struggle, and that's okay as well. So what does this look like? It looks like honesty. So when do I have those hard conversations? When they invite them. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not losing weight. Listen, this is really hard. Like, we know why it's not happening. We know the reasons why it's not.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to get to the actual question in text format while it's playing. I had to wait for this to stop doing that so I can pause it. But yeah, it's this one right here. When do you have hard conversations with people about their goals? And
It's better over here. AT&T customers switching to T-Mobile.
So yeah, anyway, that's what it is. They don't have the list here, the time slots on the actual YouTube video anymore. They used to do that, but they don't anymore.
Happening, but it's just really tough. When you're ready to take the next step, you let me know. I think I have some ideas. This is how you present it. Okay, what you don't want to do is come down on people when they make those mistakes. You don't want to come down on them unless they invite it. And sometimes that happens too. Sometimes somebody comes to you and they, keep making the same mistake. And then I would tell people, hey, do you mind if I give you some harsh realities? Yeah, you're doing this to yourself. But it's always with care, love, encouragement, and honesty. So you don't lie, you're honest. But again, it's encouragement, inspiration, and grace. And this is the only approach that I've ever seen that gets people to the place where they can do this for the rest of their lives. Now, here's the kicker. If you force her to do something and she does it, you will rob her of the joy of making that choice herself.
That's important.
And it's not going to happen. It won't stick. That's the challenge. The challenge is, how can I get this person to want to make these choices and these changes? And when they make those changes, can I do it in a way to where they feel good about this, that they did this, not that I did this, that they did this. You want them to feel that. That's what sticks. I think you're doing a good job. I think you're being a little too hard on yourself. So extend yourself that grace and give it to her when she makes a mistake.
Yeah, I think the best.
What did I do?
Our first caller is Michael from California.
No.
Michael, what's happening?
How you doing,
What did I
Michael?
do?
What's up, man?
Hey guys.
I'm not gonna record that whole thing again. Oh, come on.
One day where all of a sudden it just clicks and it makes sense. And I've had this happen with clients.
Our coach, and it makes them feel, keep
Well,
them healthier than what they would.
I might have
Anything
to,
else, they are making progress.
double dip.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
some of it.
being
I don't remember where we
Herself
left off. I just know
about
that Adam
this,
was
that
talking.
they did this, not that give it to her when she makes a mistake.
Yeah, I think the best part about this client for you is realizing that this is going to be the majority of clients. Just a fact.
Yeah.
That's part of.
It's the long game.
Yeah, I mean, being a very good trainer is a lot like being a really good baseball player. If you're amazing, you're hitting the ball three out of 10 times. I mean, you're amazing, and that's just clients are that way, and just hang on the things that you are making progress with her and steps in that direction. And if she is not bitching and complaining and blaming you, then sometimes you just have to be okay that this is where she's at currently right now. I know me being in her life is helping her be a healthier version than what she would be with me out of her life. And so that's a very positive thing, right? Sometimes clients would train with me and the only thing I could get them to do is to show up to the workout. That was why they hired me, and everything else they weren't doing outside of me. But
That's
hey,
so many clients.
yeah, but hey, that's better than them not coming to the gym, and at least they're coming to see me, and they recognize the importance of strength training the 2 or 3 times.
Refresh your space with a mid-century
Ah, so many
makeover at
mishaps.
Ashley. From rich, solid woods to velvet-like
Importance of strength training the 2 or 3 times a week with me, and so even though I couldn't get them to do any of the other things, I also recognize that hey, at least I can add value or keep them healthier than what they would be if they weren't seeing me. So you do, and if I thought you were giving bad advice or you were pushing too much or you weren't meeting them where they're at, I'd give you advice in that direction. But I think the things that you listed that you were doing and the way you're communicating them, and even where I see you're meeting her, I mean, you're doing the right things. You really are. And it doesn't matter sometimes, like no matter what you do, that person has to really want it. Sometimes people hire a coach because they can afford to hire a coach and it makes them feel like they're trying or that they're moving in the right direction, but in reality, they haven't truly made that decision inside. And that sounds
They're
like
trying, but they haven't.
and that this sounds like one of those people that she's got so much going on in her life that she hasn't quite prioritized this as she does everything else, right?
She knows it's important. It's just a matter of time for it to really set in. And you never know what that trigger is. You know, you never know that one day where all of a sudden it just clicks and it makes sense. And I've had this happen with clients before. It's been like a couple years. And then all of a sudden, like there was this huge shift
true.
in their life. And that's why you just got to hang on and be there. And they just know you're the North Star. And you're there and you just keep providing good information when they need it.
Yeah, here's what you want, and think of your own situation. Maybe you've known people like this in your life, right? You make a huge, embarrassing mistake. Who's that one person you know you can tell? Okay,
This was really
you
good.
want to be that for your client. What you don't want to be is that trainer where the client's like, "Oh man, I went off the rails yesterday, ate a whole pizza." I'm not telling my trainer. You want to be the trainer or the coach where you're the first person.
They confide in.
They confide in you because they know you're going to be honest, but you're also going to give them grace. Remember, grace is undeserved. Grace is not like you may think to yourself like you deserve to get, whatever. That's not what that looks like. So you want to be that coach that the person that your client feels like that's the person I go to when I screw up and this sucks. By the way, she's got 2 younger kids. This is a season for a lot of moms. Like Justin hit the nail on the head. I can't tell you how many clients I had that I would train for a year, 2 years, 3 years, like years. And then all of a sudden, like magic, things fall into place. And sometimes it's like, oh, my kids went to school now. Or I finally left that job, and then things start to click. And it's like, man, if we didn't hang in there, we would have never reached that place. So this is the beauty of what we do as coaches and trainers. And this is why a lot of people can't do it, but that's okay. That gets me excited.
Cool. Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah, sometimes I just I sit back and I'm like, am I just taking her money? But like, forgive my pregnancy hormones, they might come out. But she wrote me like a thank you Christmas card that said like, it was just like, thank you for helping me make myself a priority. And I just after everything I've been mentally dealing with this question, I really needed to hear that, because like you said, I am her support person. So it just made me feel really good. And what you guys are saying is making me feel, despite the ugly crying. Yeah.
You're a good coach.
Yeah, you're doing good, Teresa. You're doing a lot of the right
If
things.
you didn't feel the way you did, you wouldn't be a good coach. This is what everybody goes. This is all good coaches go through this.
Yep.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just try and trust the process, I guess, like I do with myself. So.
And believe your clients when they give you money and they say that you're bringing them value.
That's important.
Believe them. Don't look at it and go, but what do you know, you're not doing this, that. No. Believe them. They mean it.
Yeah.
Are you attending our webinars for coaches and trainers?
I attended the last one. I missed the first one, but yes, I would like to keep up with them.
Keep registering. We're doing them every other month right now, so we'll see you there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay.
Keep
All right,
at
Teresa.
it.
Thanks, Teresa.
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year.
Yeah,
too.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
This is why I love coaches and
Yeah,
trainers.
the best.
You don't see anybody else.
They care.
You don't see anybody else in the fitness industry feel like that about people's health, about their progress. Nobody feels like that.
Yeah.
This is why we speak to coaches and trainers, and that's why they're the ones that make the big difference.
She's
So,
doing a really good job.
that's it, totally.
When she was listening, I mean, obviously, I recognize her name too. Teresa's been listening and following and been in our forums for a very long time, so I recognize her. And you could tell by the way she's handling her. I mean, she's doing all the right things. She's meeting her where she's at. She's giving her little baby steps, and they fall off, they get back on. Like, I just, this is just part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, this is part of it. Like, you just got to be okay
Sometimes
with
the
it.
coach needs a little pump up too.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like
Well, I remember-
I definitely needed that a lot of times.
Yeah, I remember having moments like that where you have these streaks of where all the clients are like just not. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my god, am I
Like,
doing
is
anything?
it me?
Yeah.
Am I that bad? You know, and so you just have, and then you have
I
other.
remember that.
Yeah, then you have
Dude.
hot streaks where everyone's hitting their goals and they're doing great. You know,
100%.
so you just depends on the batch you got at the time you got them, and so. But she's doing all the right things. So, and obviously, the lady wrote her a card to thank her for how much
Yeah,
she's doing.
and
To
believe
me,
her.
that's the big point to this conversation. I think to be had for coaches and trainers that are listening. This is a little bit different if this lady is bitching and complaining and telling
That's
her
right.
and blaming her that
Yeah.
why am I not seeing the results?
Yeah.
Well, then there's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
that we can communicate. Talk
Yeah.
about. But the lady is.
That's the invitation for the honest
That's
conversation.
right.
exactly.
That's right.
Be
But
a little
it sounds like
more
she
real.
recognizes that she's not doing all the
That's
things she
right.
needs to do, but she still values what
That's
she's
right.
doing. And so that's totally okay. It's totally okay.
By the way, we are running a sale this month on some workout programs. MAPS Aesthetic and MAP.
Anyway, yeah, that's some sage advice. That's why I always recommend this show on my Facebook. I don't know if anybody ever takes the bait and tries to check out this podcast or YouTube show, but it's great. Anyway, there will be more. But yeah, that's sage advice. Great stuff.